100 years ago, Belfast saw the first big battle between the working and employing classes in Ireland. The dockers and carters strike was the spark which lit a fire of working class militancy. Workers were flexing their muscle. Catholic and Protestant were uniting. Larkism was giving the bosses nightmares. Even the police got caught up in the new mood. Unskilled workers in the city suffered conditions that are difficult to imagine today. It was quite common to work a 70 or 80-hour week with wages so low that the pre-teenage children were forced to work in the mills and factories to supplement the family income. Housing was usually 1 or 2 rooms in an overcrowded and often damp house. Unsurprisingly, diseases like TB were rampant. In January 1907, James Larkin arrived in Belfast to organise for the National Union of Dock Labourers, NUDL. Within 4 months, he had signed up over 4,000 members, mostly dockers and carters. The new trade union members were enthusiastic, and strikes broke out for wage rises and improved conditions. No warning strikes, sympathy strikes, mass pickets and blacking of scab goods were the trademarks of Larkinism. On June the 20th, the NUDL submitted a claim to all the shipping companies in Belfast for a minimum wage of 27 shillings and 6 pence and a 60-hour week. The bosses refused, and 3,000 men walked off the job. The shipping owners and the government decided that the workers must be put in their place. Police and troops were used to prevent picketing and protect scabs. While scabs on the docks were safe behind a wall of police and soldiers, scab carters would have to go out onto the streets. The first cart to leave the docks was met by 3,000 strikers and their supporters. At the more working class Independent Orange Order demonstration on July the 12th, the strike was given official backing and a collection taken up. Speakers attacked the government and called for unity between Protestant and Catholic. Throughout Ireland and in Britain, workers demonstrated in support of the Belfast workers. Dockers in many ports refused to handle goods diverted from Belfast. A strike of dockers and carters covering most of Ireland and Britain could have brought the bosses to their knees. But the union leaders refused to call for sympathetic strikes elsewhere. This was too radical a step at that time. The Belfast Trade Councils organised a demonstration on July 26th. It turned into a one-day general strike with a march up the Falls and down the Shankill to a rally of 200,000 outside the City Hall. As this enormous movement unfolded, a mutiny broke out within the police. The RIC hadn't received a wage rise for years. They had to work long hours without overtime, and now they'd had enough. Larkin appealed to the police to go on strike. On July 19th, a Constable Barrett was suspended because he refused to escort a scab. 5 days later, between 200 and 300 police turned up for a banned meeting. Senior officers were forced to leave the room. The police had mutinied, sending shockwaves throughout the ruling class.